Choosing a lifestyle that cannot be monetized. What changes when you stop turning every part of life into something productive? The moment everything starts feeling like output, at some point, it becomes normal to think of everything as something that could be turned into value. A hobby becomes content. A skill becomes a side income. Even rest starts to feel like something that should be optimized. It does not happen all at once. It builds slowly until the question shifts from what you enjoy to what you can gain from it. When that shift happens, it becomes harder to tell whether you are doing something because you want to or because it can be useful. Growing up around productivity without noticing it, it is easy to think this mindset is personal, but it is often shaped by the environment around you. School rewards measurable outcomes like grades and achievements. Social platforms highlight people who turn interests into success stories. Over time, this creates a pattern where value is linked to visible results. Even when no one is directly telling you to monetize something, the expectation is still present. It becomes a quiet pressure that shapes how you choose to spend your time. When enjoyment starts to feel like a missed opportunity, one of the first signs of this shift is when enjoyment feels incomplete on its own. You might read something interesting and immediately think about how to share it. You might learn a skill and wonder how it could become useful. Even relaxing can feel slightly uncomfortable, as if time is being wasted. The activity itself has not changed, but your relationship with it has. Instead of being present, part of your mind is evaluating its potential. The subtle cost of always extracting value, constantly looking for value in everything, has a cost that is not always obvious. It turns experiences into transactions. Instead of simply doing something, you are measuring it. This creates a layer of pressure that stays even during activities that are meant to be relaxing. Over time, it reduces the sense of freedom in how you spend your time. Life begins to feel structured around output even when no one is asking for it. Choosing something that stays unproductive on purpose at some point, the idea of doing something that cannot be monetized starts to feel different. It feels almost unfamiliar. Choosing an activity with no intention of turning it into something more requires a conscious decision. It means allowing the activity to exist without purpose beyond the moment itself. This is not about rejecting productivity completely. It is about creating space where productivity is not the goal. What happens when there is no outcome attached? When you remove the expectation of outcome, your attention changes. You stop thinking ahead and start focusing on what you are doing. There is less pressure to improve quickly or perform well. Mistakes feel less significant because they are not tied to anything larger. This creates a different kind of engagement, one that is quieter and more steady. The experience becomes enough on its own. Why this feels uncomfortable at first, even though this sounds simple, it is not always easy. Without a clear outcome, it can feel like something is missing. The mind is used to tracking progress and results, so the absence of those markers can feel uncertain. There may be a tendency to turn the activity into something measurable again. This discomfort is not a sign that the choice is wrong. It is a sign of how familiar the productivity mindset has become. Redefining what counts as meaningful over time, choosing non-monetized activities begins to change how you define meaning. Value is no longer tied only to output or recognition. It becomes connected to experience, attention, and presence. This shift is subtle but important. It allows you to see that not everything needs to lead somewhere else. Some things can exist simply because they are worth doing in the moment. Creating balance without rejecting ambition, choosing a lifestyle that includes non-monetized time does not mean giving up ambition. It means separating different parts of life instead of merging everything into one goal. Work can still be productive and focused. Goals can still matter. The difference is that not every moment has to contribute to them. This creates a balance where effort and rest do not compete with each other. Final thoughts: in a world where almost everything can be turned into something measurable, choosing something that cannot be monetized becomes a different kind of decision. It is not about avoiding productivity, but about protecting space where it does not apply. That space allows you to experience things without evaluating them. Over time, this changes how you think about time, effort, and value. It reminds you that not everything meaningful needs to produce something in return. Thanks for watching.